Now let me be clear, I'm not saying that it is completely immoral or irrational or morally wrong to wear a face mask. Rational, intelligent people of good conscience can come to differing opinions about whether or not to wear a face mask. What I am saying, though, in no uncertain terms, is that it is morally wrong to compel others to wear or not wear such a mask. I am arguing that recommendations and attempts at persuasion are perfectly fine, but that outright compulsion in this matter is morally wrong no matter who is doing it, whether that's a neighbor, an employer, a law enforcement officer, a state governor, or even the military. I believe that the moral and historical arguments are sufficient on their own to uphold the position against mask mandates independently of which way the empirical evidence points, because science may be able to tell you what will happen if you do X, but it cannot tell you whether you should do X. This is where history and philosophy come in, and the people most likely to disregard historical and philosophical arguments are the people most likely to fall prey to bad philosophy, unexamined philosophical assumptions, and repeat the worst mistakes in history. Let me put forward just 5 arguments based on principle and on history. They apply with equal force both to mandates for and mandates against mask wearing. First, compulsory masking is wrong because it reverses the burden of proof and the presumption of innocence that our legal system is supposed to be based on. Second, compulsory masking is wrong because the act of wearing a mask cannot avoid communicating a number of propositions to observers, and thus compelled mask wearing constitutes a form of compelled speech. Third, compulsory masking is wrong because it usurps a person's most fundamental and unalienable property, their own body. Fourth, the flawed underlying rationale and legal precedents cited in support of compulsory masking and mandatory vaccination have already been used to support some of the worst injustices in the history of American jurisprudence, and compulsory mask wearing itself creates another such poisonous precedent. Fifth, compulsory public health measures such as mandatory mask wearing, forced vaccination, involuntary business closures, and other such measures taken in the name of public health are directly contrary to both the text and the spirit inherent in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States as consistently revealed by both the statements and the actions of the founders of our republic, even under epidemic circumstances of far greater duress than COVID-19. Let me expand on each of these arguments.